after the House passed the $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill, President Biden boasted about his spending spree. Take a listen.
Finally, Infrastructure Week. I'm so happy to say that. We did something that's long overdue, that long has been talked about in Washington, but never actually been done.
Infrastructure Week, but the bill only includes $110 billion going to actual infrastructure, roads, bridges, and other, quote, transformational projects. And get this, 13 Republicans voted for the massive bill. 6 members of the squad voted against it. All right, so this bill, $1.2 trillion. I remember when we first started talking about this bill, and everyone was like, whoa, that is a huge price tag. Not only that, it's not all infrastructure. There's some human infrastructure in there as well. So, Alicia, I'm going to bring this up because Joe sort of said you've been anchoring for a long time last segment. So I'm sure you were anchoring when President Obama passed the $800 billion, that's with a B, dollar stimulus package. So how do we compare those two numbers? Because at the time, people were like, wow, $800 billion, that's a lot of money. Now we're talking $1.2 trillion.
Yeah, we're really getting used to, and I've been anchoring since I was 15, remember, Joe? Just keep that.
Yes.
Keep that in your mind. But yeah, we're really getting used to, well, thank you. We're really getting used to some big numbers, and it's getting to be really frightening. I think it's going to be very interesting going into the midterms how all of this plays out, or even if folks remember, because maybe we'll be talking about even higher packages at some point. It's a little scary. But, you know, Republicans really had a moment there while Democrats were really just beating the heck out of each other within their own party because they were dealing with this civil war. Now you have these 13 Republicans who've stirred up just a hornet's nest in their own party, and now you have this other fight where it really was a moment for them to come together and let Democrats just sort of like take care of things themselves, and they've been tripping over themselves, as we saw in the election night on Tuesday. So we'll continue to watch this. I do fear, Abby, that, and I think a lot of Americans out there fear, that these numbers will continue to go up as we become ever used to eye-popping numbers, which were once eye-popping and are no longer.
Well, you think that maybe this is what's happening with the Build Back Better plan. That's estimated to be $1.5 trillion. Well, it's said to be $1.75 trillion, but estimates say it could go up to $4 trillion. But I want to pick up what you said on those 13 Republicans. I think we have a full screen of who voted. Other full screen. Well, yeah, the 13. Okay, so here are the 13 Republicans. We know that 6 far-left progressives voted against this. We kind of knew that was going to happen because a lot of them said we're not going to vote for infrastructure until we get this Build Back Better plan pushed through. So, Charlie, what do you say of the 13 Republicans who did vote for this bill while the 6 far-left progressives did not?
Well, sadly, I'm not terribly surprised that that they managed to pick up a handful of Republicans to go along with this. Anytime you put a room full of Democrats and a room full of Republican politicians in a room and they spend 6 months talking about spending trillions of dollars, one thing you can guarantee is that before the meeting is all over with, they're going to figure out how to spend at least $1 trillion. These people, it's like the last frontier of bipartisanship when it comes to politicians in Washington. But that's not to belittle or make light of what a serious issue this is. Of course, the biggest lie that anybody tells is this lie about how it's all paid for. It's not all paid for. Every dime of the $28 trillion that your children and your grandchildren will never live to pay off, every dime of that was paid for when Congress spent it. And we're just years away before we're going to hit a situation where it's going to suddenly be really difficult to make debt payments. It's going to be really difficult to pay our obligations on Social Security and things like this. So there will be a time, and it's not far away, when I think suddenly the American voter is going to start punishing politicians who blew through all of this money and spent like drunken sailors. I do think it's interesting, though, about the most honest thing that Joe Biden said was when he said that talked about how long overdue this infrastructure bill was. Yeah, it's long overdue in that for the past 5 years, Donald Trump was clamoring to spend this kind of money on real infrastructure, and Democrats refused to go along with it for the past 5 years because they didn't want to give him a win, and because they wanted to spend their time talking about all these crazy conspiracy theories that we now know are all lies and should have known at the time about Russia.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of time left, but let's just throw up what's inside of that massive spending, social spending package. $555 billion tax credits for clean new energy. You can read them all there. We're waiting for the CBO score to tell us how much this bill will actually cost. But in the meantime, Joe, what are moderate Democrats and Republicans thinking about before the expected vote the week of November 15th?
Well, they're thinking about what's it going to cost, right? And that's why they're waiting for that CBO particular score that'll be out probably before Thanksgiving. But also, is there even a home for us anymore as far as our parties are concerned? But Dan Bongino had a great quote today. I actually stopped and rewound it on Fox and Friends. He said, quote, "Some Republicans on Capitol Hill are actually Democrats, but no Democrats on Capitol Hill are actually Republicans." Yeah, that about sums it up. And please, don't buy this argument, by the way, that Americans overwhelmingly want improvements to roads, bridges, and rail, and airports, and power grids. Of course they do, but that's not what this is about. It's like buying a home, all right, this infrastructure bill, next to a toxic waste dump. Sure, the home is nice, but what you get with it ain't. And what you're going to get with it now, what this sets the road for, is that human infrastructure bill, right? And in this case, you're going to get a massive government expansion, trillions of more dollars spent at a time where core inflation's already at a 30-year high, gas prices are going through the roof, there's a supply chain shortage that we talked about at least through 2022, and all they had to do was vote against this and wait to win back the House and Senate in 12 months, which will happen given the president's poll numbers, and then tackle infrastructure the right way as a standalone bill with no pork and actual fixes and improving things. And of course, that didn't happen. I'll leave it here. Kevin McCarthy now is in serious trouble as House Minority Speaker. Pelosi delivered, McCarthy didn't, and that is your scoreboard right now.
No pork, but very expensive turkey as we come up on Thanksgiving.